We were actually approached by American Management Services to do a survey back in 2013. At the time, I was asking questions of our personnel, and we had recently moved to a new location, and the anticipated improvement in financials and our efficiencies just weren't there. So I figured having a unbiased third set of eyes take a look at it would be a good idea. And Anthony Barano did our survey for us in May, June, and his report opened our eyes on a lot of different issues. The report that he provided was very accurate in a lot of ways. It was hard to hear because it didn't mince things. It made us look at ourselves as much as it did make us look at our business. But it also gave us a lot of good ideas, and he was very forthright in a lot of things. He told us he thought we could handle some of the items that he pointed out, but he also thought that there were going to be some issues that were going to be harder for us to deal with on our own, and gave us a few days to think about what we wanted to do. And after discussing it with other shareholders and other officers of the company, we opted to bring on American Management Services for the in-depth assistance that we were looking for. I think a lot of our middle management and our staff, from the report that was provided and from the in-house in-depth work that was done by American Management Services, got a better understanding of the economic pushes and pulls. It was data that we gave them in bits and pieces, but I think they were getting a better understanding, and it made them better employees because they better understood the nature. We as a business improved dramatically in our gross margin for a lot of our service work. We balanced out a lot of our parts pricing where we were not making the margins that we should be making. Our inventory turn has improved in certain areas. But overall, the profitability of the business has improved significantly since we did the survey, and Herb came in and helped us out. What I personally gained out of the process was a better understanding of the business, that I need to trust my gut because there were a lot of things that I was told was okay, par for the course, normal course of business, that just didn't sit right with me. I learned personally that I need to involve the employees more, middle management employees more in some of the financial information. I figured it was not information that they necessarily wanted to know, but it's information that they need to know. So that was the main thing that I learned to be a better owner and boss by doing the survey. I've suggested American Management Services to some of my fellow dealers in the organization. I've mentioned it to the parent company that we represent, that it might be something that they want to encourage other dealers to do, not necessarily American Management Services, although I highly recommend them. But what I've told people is that it's going to be brutally honest. It might be ripping some scabs off at times, but it's what you need to know, and it's what you need to make the business a better business and to survive. We were being bled by 1,000 paper cuts. We weren't losing money in any one area, but we weren't making the money we should have. And now, we've rectified those areas, and we're making money, and we're profitable and growing. We've increased our personnel. We've increased our margins. We've done a fantastic job, and we've increased our market share as a result. So, we're able to help the other customers in our area that haven't previously dealt with fire and safety, because now we can better manage our resources to get them the service they need in a timely fashion that they need it. The financial improvements that we made, our gross profitability went up even with the investment that we made in having American Management Services come in. That turned out to be a break-even year for us, which, had American Management Services not come in, it would have been a loss year for us. And considering the investment we made, that would have been a nice profit, but we wouldn't have been able to be there without American Management Services. As I said previously, on our service side, our gross profits have gone way up. Our service managers and our service writers have a better understanding of our burden labor rates. They have a better understanding of the economics. So our staffing is much more efficient than it has to be or has been in the past. And that's probably the main area that it's helped is working on an incentive program for our service technicians to help them share in the profit that they're now creating, and also improving our bottom line just by efficiencies. So with the help of American Management Services, we found a new controller, CFO person, and he's been with us ever since American Management Services finished up their reports. We had Herb Batchelor as our main consultant during this process. He was here for a long time. He was great to work with. He understood our business. He understood the nuances and the eccentricities of our business. We sell and service fire apparatus, so it's a slightly unique industry. It's a very niche market. So he took the time to listen to our employees, listen to our managers, and understand the nuances without coming in with preconceived notions that we're not really like a car dealership, but we're not really like a truck dealership. We're our own little kind of niche. So he was very good to work with. He broke things down in a way that a lot of people can understand. He didn't talk over people. And he was able to converse easily with everyone from our technicians up to our accountants and presidents and board. I've grown. A lot of things were hard to hear. I don't come from a management background. I'm an attorney by trade. I grew up in the business, but my background is in law, so management is not necessarily something that's easy to come by, and it made me a better manager and made me want to learn more about the process and grow some more. The return on investment has more than made up for it. The goals that Herb set forth in our initial meetings of what he wanted in the 3-5 year survey period of time, we've come very close to meeting, if not exceeding, every one of them, especially the gross margin and the profitability numbers. Anytime there's a change in a 52-year-old business, there will be some resistance. We had a lot of people with the mindset that it's worked for us this long. Why don't we just keep on doing what we're doing? And one of the things that I stress, and what American Management Services stress, is that if we want to continue to grow, we need to change. And the employees, after initial reluctance in certain areas, have wholeheartedly grabbed onto a lot of the things that were brought forth. The growth was greater than our ability to manage the growth. We grew very quickly in the late 80s, early 90s, and that resulted in us playing a lot of catch up and putting things together just to make do without ever going back and really analyzing it. And I think we realized, and my father especially, who really grew the business, realized that we really needed to do this process to really rebuild the support structure so that we weren't built on a house of cards, that we really had the strong foundation we needed to continue to grow and move forward. The interesting part about this business is I am on the road a lot. I do have to travel to the manufacturer we represent and some of the other manufacturers we represent. I was always deeply concerned, concerned about what I would find when I got back. After this report, I'm a lot more comfortable knowing I have the right people in place to oversee things while I'm gone.